In the hushed corridors of the Tate Gallery, a young assistant named Lily finds herself in the eye of an unfolding storm, one swirling with grief, ambition, institutional politics, and the shadow of a giant, Pablo Picasso. The morning begins like many others. Lily slides her boss's note into her top drawer and walks down the hallway to Diana Gilden's office. She taps lightly, waits for a beat, out of respect more than necessity, and enters. Diana is on the phone, her figure slightly hunched, her expression grim. It's not like her to show vulnerability, especially not on a Monday morning. The call is in Spanish, a language Diana commands effortlessly, and though Lily cannot understand the words, she can feel the weight of them in the air. Diana Gilden is not just any superior. She is the Tate Gallery's keeper of the modern collections, the first woman in the United Kingdom to hold such a title at a major institution. Her office is a reflection of both her power and her restraint. Anchored by a George IV desk, massive, imperial, and rumored to be hers by heritage rather than property of the museum, it whispers of a legacy cloaked in discretion. The Hohenberg name and Austrian estates follow Diana like a whisper in the halls, but she never speaks of them. Her authority is understated, worn like a linen shift, not flaunted like silk. Lily has learned from her how power does not shout but suggests. Their relationship has grown over the years, professional but fiercely loyal. What began as a secretarial role for Lily has become a career, crowned recently with an unprecedented promotion to assistant keeper. In a world where most women in the arts are marginalized, Diana has brought Lily up through the ranks, an act that did not go unnoticed, and not always positively, by the rest of the London museum world. Now, as Diana ends her call and turns to Lily with the news that Pablo Picasso died yesterday, the weight of their shared responsibility begins to settle in. The announcement is startling. The Picasso had been ill. His death feels mythic. Lily, like the rest of the world, had assumed the gods among men lived forever. Diana informs her that Antonia, from the Museo Nacional Centro de Arte Reina Sofía in Madrid, is organizing a summer exhibition in tribute. Diana, always decisive, already has plans. She wants the Tate to mount a small, intimate Picasso exhibition in the North Gallery room within just 2 weeks, an ambitious, nearly impossible feat. But there is more at stake than homage. The Tate is facing a quiet crisis. The American New Realism exhibit Diana launched at the Serpentine Gallery is floundering financially. Although critically praised, it's a victim of broader economic malaise. Inflation, strikes, and a British public increasingly unwilling to embrace the bold or the foreign. Attendance is dismal. Donations have dropped. The exhibition's budget has been exhausted far ahead of schedule, and the backlash has begun. Many blame Diana. The museum's leadership is wary. Donors are dying. Literally, in the case of Ian Campbell, the 11th Duke of Argyll, and tensions in the cultural sector resemble those before the Second World War. To course correct, Diana has been preparing to supplement the flailing American exhibit with a British emerging artist showcase, an idea both politically savvy and artistically exciting. Lily is eager to contribute to it, but now Diana sees an opportunity to shift the narrative altogether. A tribute to Picasso, the greatest artist of the 20th century, could reignite public interest, draw in press, and re-establish the Tate's prominence in the international art scene. It could also reaffirm Diana's position, and by extension, Lily's, in a world that increasingly feels precarious. As Diana begins to strategize, memories surface. She recalls the celebration the Tate held for Picasso's 90th birthday 3 years earlier, a spectacle involving 90 schoolchildren, each holding a dove, released simultaneously on the museum's front steps in homage to Child with a Dove. The event was chaotic, messy, and joyful. It remains a high point in Lily's memory, symbolizing the spirit of boldness and reverence that defines the Tate at its best. Diana wants the new exhibition to carry that same sense of intimacy and meaning. She envisions it not as a blockbuster, but as a curated collection of personal pieces, his favorites, not necessarily the most famous. As they discuss logistics, the enormity of the task becomes clear. Shipping artwork across the Atlantic on short notice, dealing with customs and paperwork, negotiating with institutions like the Louvre and the Art Institute of Chicago, all of it is daunting. Diana mentions wanting The Old Guitarist, a piece from Chicago, but Lily, ever the realist, knows that is unlikely. Recent loan requests from American museums have been denied with increasing hostility, but Diana is undeterred. She understands the moment demands impact and timing more than perfection. Lily takes furious notes, her mind already racing through the steps. Diana instructs her to arrange a champagne luncheon for the opening and tells her to speak with Geoffrey, the keeper of British collections, to vacate gallery space for the exhibit. It's a dangerous move. Geoffrey is one of many who would relish Diana's downfall, but Diana is playing a bold hand. She even pens a note for archives to dig up details of the Tate's 1960 Picasso exhibition, a legendary blockbuster that changed the art world's trajectory. She wants this exhibit to echo that past glory and reassert the Tate's foundational role in shaping cultural history. A quiet moment follows. Lily, holding the note card, notices something odd. Diana never uses capital letters. She asks about it, and for a rare moment, Diana opens up. She began writing in all lowercase as a young painter herself, seeking a stylish signature. The revelation is small but significant, a glimmer into a more vulnerable, artistic self Diana rarely shows. When Lily asks if she still paints, Diana responds with a curt, almost painful, "Never." The air shifts. Whatever memory lingers in Diana's mind, it is one she doesn't wish to relive. Lily, sensing the edge in her boss's tone, redirects them to the task at hand. There is no room for nostalgia, not now. They have a war to wage against time, against institutional doubt, against the looming threat of irrelevance. As Lily prepares to leave the office and begin her calls, Diana reminds her of one final and crucial point. They need Richard Browning, the Tate's director, on board. Without his approval, none of this can move forward. And they will need to convince him that the idea was his all along. Lily understands. She has watched Diana play this game for years. The subtle turns of power, the careful placement of ideas, the diplomatic maneuvering required to survive and lead in a man's world. As she walks out the door, she is filled not with dread, but determination. If Richard says yes, the impossible becomes merely difficult. And difficult is where Diana and Lily thrive. The next 2 weeks will be a crucible, a test of will, resourcefulness, and courage. But it is also an opportunity, not only to honor the death of a giant, but to prove that giants still live among them. That women like Diana Gildan and the protégés she raises up are not just caretakers of the past, but architects of the future.